the Bleav, the Phoenix Suns podcast, right here on KSRN. With your host, Earl Burnett, aka Casual E.
Exactly. I'm starting to kind of figure you out a little bit, Flex. Figure you out. But you really believe in this Suns team. You really see something that maybe some of us are not seeing, bro.
And Felix Cruz, Flex from Jersey.
It just feels different. He's the hungriest dog in the race, and that's what I'm saying. That's another dynamic I think people are underestimating. Is that we're gonna go in there with a pack of hungry dogs, and the hungriest dog is leading our team.
Time to talk Sun.
I want to go down there and destroy everyone in our way.
Damn, and so far he's doing just that. Welcome into the Bleav the Phoenix Suns podcast right here on KSRN, the hottest internet radio station going on the web. I'm your host, Earl Burnett, and of course y'all know who that man is next to me, the one and only Flex from Jersey, Felix Cruz. What's going on, big man?
What up, Easy E? Chilling, man. Ready to get this game 2 going, baby.
Absolutely, man.
I'm still hungover on Book right now. I still got a Devin Booker triple-double hangover, man. Let's go.
Yeah. And the whole world is finally getting to see it. And now you see everybody chiming in on, oh, he's this, he's that. It's like, where was all that at before? He's doing the same. Well, he's not doing exactly the same thing that we've always seen, but he's just doing it on a bigger scale in a playoff series. So he's doing basically what we've already seen, but they just now getting to see it. Now everybody's on the jock and riding the coattails and saying he's the next Kobe and the next whatever. So it's all good though. I like that. I love it. I love it. I just hate that. I hate that when they say it, they don't disclose their all NBA votes at the same time. You know,
if you're gonna get on TV and say he's the next Kobe, show me your all NBA vote. Show me if you voted for him like the next Kobe on the all NBA vote. That's what I'm talking about.
They can't retract it. They ain't gonna go back and do it either. Nobody wants to be wrong. But all this team does is just no matter what. This is gonna be, man. Absolutely. Hey, this is the second 8-game winning streak. This is a double retake from the bubble. I mean, a retake from the bubble, man. 8 straight games. But this time we're doing 8 straight in the real playoffs, man. And we're doing it with the same team, minus, of course, Jay Crowder and Craig right now. But it's the same team.
Yeah. It is. I mean, listen, the intro to our show. I mean, it says it all, bro. Like, listen, man. Like, I'm not surprised. Like, I know people want me to get on and be like, man, the Suns in the Western Conference Finals. Oh my God! But I mean, people that know me, like you know me, and people that talk to me off the record, and my contacts, my sources, my real road dogs. They know that I'm not surprised by this because, man, like I've been seeing this thing percolating for a minute, man. And it just, unfortunately, we watch this team differently than the national media does. So,
of course,
it took longer for them to catch on. But am I shocked or surprised by this? Nah, bro. I want more. I want more, man. Like, it's the real deal. This team's the real deal. And no need to feel that we're not, man. Like, I think 8. I'm looking at 8 right now, and I'm like, shit, man. We could get this to like 12 if we want to. Like,
wait, hold up a second before you say that. There's something that nobody caught in this media thing, and nobody brought it out. Mm-hmm. But when you go back to the Lakers series, when they lost the first game to the Lakers, and they lost their first game.
1-1, yep.
4. I think it was game 4 when they lost. Not their first game, but they lost.
So they won game 1 and they lost 2 and 3. 2 and 3 back to back.
Correct. Yep. And they lost 3. Chris Paul came to the podium, and I was looking at the Zoom meeting for the whole, the team thing.
I was up. I remember that.
He kept saying 11 in a row. 11 in a row.
That was Foster. Scott Foster.
Nobody else was saying anything that he said. That, like, nobody asked him a question about what do you mean by 11 in a row. He just kept saying it. And he kept looking over to the side like somebody was over there. He kept saying it to. So I'm wondering, was that Book over there he was saying?
No. You know what that? You know what that was? He was talking about Scott Foster, the referee.
Oh,
So the referee Scott Foster refereed 11 straight games that CP lost.
okay.
So that's what he kept saying. He was like 11 in a row. That's all I gotta say. 11 in a row. Like, how can I lose 11 in a row when this guy referees these games? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, that makes sense. And I'm like, wow, how would he know they was gonna go on this streak like this?
Oh man, if CP was talking about 11 straight wins, man, dude, I'm about to call him for lotto tickets or something.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna say, but wait a minute. I kept counting. I'm going, I'm missing something because 11 games only puts them in the championship. Don't say they win it.
Right.
They put them in it. But okay, good looking on straightening that out. Because
I got you, brother. I got you, my bro.
Oh man, I was a little bit behind and fell behind on that with my bad, y'all.
Oh, nah, no good. All good, my bro.
Say thank you to all the people chiming in, listening. Shout out to all the people that are on the comments here. We got Joe Anderson in, Peter in, AZ Sons Cardinal, my man Sean is in the house, Iverson Vogues, Force Master, Jason Lee McDonald, all kinds of people are chiming in, and we appreciate you guys coming into the Suns podcast house right now. And dude, let's talk about what's going on around the league before we get into the Suns.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go with, of course, let's start with let's see what I said I was gonna start with. Oh, the Nets. The Nets getting bounced out by the Bucks. And the super team, I was cheering so hard for the super team to go down. I'm sorry, that's just me. I don't like super teams. They get on my nerves, but it is what it is. I know that's today's NBA, and that's okay. But I was cheering like crazy at the Bucks because the Bucks are a hungry team. They still are a hungry team. The Bucks are a team that are still trying to avenge their last few years in the playoffs. They have to go further. And so you can tell they're hungry. They want to get further than where they've always, been past that, the Eastern Conference Finals because they've been there. They want to get to the dance. They want to get to the last, series. So
yeah,
when I saw that, how they were just grinding that game out, and KD did everything he could to keep that team afloat. But a team always trumps the star trying to do it by himself. It never fails. So
right.
So props to the Bucks, man. What do you think about that series, though? And what do you think about the Bucks going forward?
Well, first of all, man, a shout out to KD, man. I mean, listen, I was probably one of the best game sevens I've ever seen in my life. Like I was strapped to every second of that game, man. And I can't lie, man. The basketball purist in me, the hooper in me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching that game and I'm rooting the whole game. I'm watching as a Suns fan. So I'm saying, damn, come on, Milwaukee, keep chipping away. Like I want Milwaukee to win this game because I want the super team out because then Kyrie gets healthy and Harden gets healthy and you know what can happen. So again, I'm watching that game as a Bucks fan until like the end, and I'm watching KD do what he's doing, and I'm like, man, the hooper in me is like, damn, go ahead, KD, go ahead, man, like be great, bro, like go ahead and win this game. I'm not even mad if KD won that game. So it was crazy, man. When he shot the first one, you're talking about a half an inch away from wrapping it up, man. Like
his toe, just half of his toe was over.
Right. So, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. But that dude I've always had respect for KD, but he gave me a whole different level of respect after that, man, because he was literally by himself.
Right.
And he took on that team. But with that said, man, listen, Milwaukee's a good basketball team. But I'm gonna make this very clear. Like I know we talking about the league, but I can't stop thinking about my Suns. We the best team left, man. We're the best team left. We're the best team left. I'm not worried about the Bucks, or I'm sure you're gonna get into that other series.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get into that. But I want to look at James Harden in that series too. I mean, I know he was dealing with the injury the whole time, but this takes me back to something that you've always said, and I've never been a believer all of this basketball god stuff.
Yeah,
you can't cheat the system, man.
Nope.
He went over there knowing, this is going to be the easy cakewalk, me getting to a championship. You can't cheat the system. It always finds its way back. I say, hold on a second. It ain't going to just be that easy for you, dude. You got to do something. And he had his chance to do something. And even though he was hurt, he still was throwing them threes up there, building that brick house. But that still was what Harden normally does in a big closeout game like that, right? I mean, the injury must have had something to do with it, I know, but KD needed at least one of those threes to go down. Not that lucky banker that he did. But one of those threes, a couple of those threes to go down, and Harden couldn't bring it.
I mean, you know what? We talked about it before that series started, right? I think we did a show right before that series started. And I if you replay the tape, I remember telling you, I said, yo, Harden got a bad hamstring. Like, he ain't going to last that series. And it was crazy because it was a minute into the series and he pulled that. And he had a grade 2 strain, man. I don't know if people understand how serious that is, man. Like, that's a really bad hamstring strain. So I'm surprised he was even able to gut out a couple games, just getting out there and playing the minutes he was playing.
Yeah, he played some heavy minutes in those.
He played heavy minutes. And you know what, though? It makes sense. Like, I've had similar injuries, man. And sometimes the best thing to do is just keep playing. Once you warm up, don't sit down. Because once you sit down, once you sit down, you Rap City. So it was one of them things where it's like, I'm gonna give it a shot and don't sit me, don't take me out, because once you take me out, it's done.
Right.
But yeah, you can't cheat the system, man. And I always say it, right? I believe in NBA gods, man. I believe you can't cheat the system. I believe in the NBA gods. I believe that there's only a few people in the world, there's a very small few that can say they've actually won a championship, right?
Right.
And we got some great ones. You got guys like Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, John Stockton, Allen Iverson. I mean, these are some of the greatest to ever do it that are going to go to their grave without a ring. Right. And so, those guys never try to cheat the system. And that's where I believe in the NBA gods. It's like, no, if those guys did it the right way and they didn't get one, I'm not going to allow you to just be bouncing around and picking and choosing. So,
right.
Again, I believe in it, man. I believe in it. And I believe that's why the Suns are shining right now, because they did it the right way.
Look at it. The Hawks, the Bucks, all of them are doing we're building straight from where they got in the draft and building what they had when they built their teams. Those teams are the teams that are shining right now. I mean, the Clippers, you can say the Clippers tried to put a quick superstars together, with George and Kawhi, but still the teams that are left are teams.
Yes.
It's not like it's just, I mean, I'm so glad that the Nets didn't keep going in this thing, because I would have hated to have seen ISO ball in a championship, all just street ball in the dang finals.
Right.
That would have just been really like, oh, come on now, but it is what it is. Props to Durant for giving the Bucks credit and, really showing some good sportsmanship and everything. I thought he was going to go down like whatever and just walk out, but he was cool. And, but yeah, the super team is gone and the best team standing. I mean, you got to put the Suns up there. I mean, as a team as a whole, they're the best team. They can play any style. They can match up to any person they go up against. So, and they're not restricted to just one superstar closing the game out. So, they got everything. They got everything. So,
well put together team.
Yeah, absolutely. And we definitely going to talk a little more about that for sure. 76ers and Hawks. This was one I just did not expect. Not in a million years I thought Philly was going to lose that game. But it just had a vibe to us like, okay, wait a minute. The other half of that tandem ain't pulling their weight. Yeah. And the other half was like, and the other half let it be known too. He like he tried his best not to say the man's name in that dang on press conference, but he basically just said it. But the other half didn't pull his weight, and now it's like, man, where do they go from here now? The 76ers, man. What do you see in that team?
Hey, I tweeted last night. I spoke to one of my league sources, and this ain't new. This ain't new. Like I've been hearing about this for a minute. I was just waiting on, like, not me waiting personally. Just like I think everyone around that situation was just waiting for the last shoe to drop, and it happened. I tweeted last night, Ben Simmons played his last game with the Sixers. I'm telling you, he's gone. It's Rap City. There is a market for him. There are teams that are interested in him. And it's bad, man. Like, you shoot 22 for 67 from the free throw line. Like, come on, bro. You're a professional basketball player. You're supposed to be an all NBA All-Star. Max type dude, and you're a liability. You scared to shoot the ball. You don't want to get fouled. You don't want to touch the ball. Like,
game 5, 6, and 7, 0 for 0. No attempts. And had the attempt of the game that would have stretched that lead a little bit more in that Hawks game. They would have stretched that lead. They had a 5-point lead, I believe, at that time.
Yeah,
They would have stretched it out. And the way that game was going, a 5-point lead looked like it was almost a 20-point lead. It's like nobody could hardly score in that game. If he turns and he turned and got the ball, he fumbled it first, then he got it back, The guy behind him was way behind. He thought Gallinari was going to block it from behind, which I don't see why. You're a high fly act. How would Gallinari, who can barely jump 2 inches off the ground, block that shot? Second of all, the other guy in front of him was Trae Young. You dunk on Trae Young. If he gonna try to do anything, you get a foul, you go to the line. So I saw that. I was like, wow, this dude, wow, an all-star, #1 pick overall, playing scared in a game.
Yeah, that's what happens, man.
That is unheard of.
Hey, just like I believe in the NBA gods, I believe in dogs.
Okay,
you either a dog or you not a dog, and he's just not a dog. And hey, shout out to Joel for being a pro, man. Because I'm gonna keep it 100, Earl. I'm gonna keep it 100, man. I'm in that locker room, bro. Man, I might have a hard time not beating the hell out of you, man.
That's what Shaq said last
I might have a hard time not beating the hell out of you. Like I may have, I would have a hard time not like you had to. I'd have to just leave the locker room because it's just my thing is, man, like we're not talking about the 15th dude on the bench, man. We talking about a guy that walks around like he's the best player on the team.
Right.
Like so if you're gonna walk it, man, you gotta talk it, bro.
Right.
And I say that for anybody, man. Like, he did enough talking in his career. Like, he's yapped a lot, and he's yapped a lot to my boy D Book, and D Book always give him the business. And he do way too much talking to be out there shooting, not responding in big games. So
you right.
And I'm gonna say something. There's somebody in this chat here that asked a question. I know we're gonna get to the questions later, but I gotta answer this question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So somebody in the chat says, do you think Ben Simmons? Do you think it's possible? I don't know. Zenith Phoenix said, do you still believe it's possible for Ben Simmons to develop a shot, or is it too late to add to his game? Let me answer that question real quick.
Go ahead.
The dude is thinking about switching hands, bro. Like, I'm not playing. He's thinking about changing his shot and becoming a righty. So no. Like, no, you can't fix that. That's just that's just goofy stuff, man. Like when you thinking about actually changing the hand you shoot with, yeah, man, you got some serious issues that are unfixable, bro.
In my opinion, the only way you're gonna get better at shooting is shooting.
Right.
If you're not shooting, how you expect to get better? I don't care how many times you focus or work on your form and what your elbow, where your elbow is and all. I don't care how much you work on that. If you're not shooting the ball, you're not going to get better. And what I mean by that, shooting the ball in high volume, in games and in practice and wherever you are, just let the damn thing go and live with the result. It looks like he's trying not to make his stats bad or something like, oh, he's shooting so bad. Look at this. So what? Let them numbers be so bad a couple of years. It'll start getting better and better as you keep shooting. But like you said, it might not be for the 76ers now. It might be for a team that's lesser and ain't gonna be nowhere near no playoffs nowhere.
Right.
You don't have to worry about doing it in the playoff game, being afraid no more. So
you know what the good news about this is?
What's that?
That ain't our damn problem, baby. That ain't our damn problem. He can figure out whatever the hell he want to do with the Sixers or whoever the hell he end up with. Our problem is, our problem is how quick we gonna get to the dance. Like that's our problem. Like LA Clippers tomorrow, Western Conference Finals. That's our problem.
Maybe his problem is he doesn't have a better leader to kick him in the ass to do things. Doc Rivers been having his issues coaching, and Embiid is just a walking a billboard for himself. So I'm like, I know it's not up to them to get him to do it, but I'm just saying, at least, if he was a son, you think CP3 gonna sit back and Book them gonna sit back and let this dude not be able to shoot? Hell no.
It's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. He's a grown ass man and he got to figure that himself. and the team that pays him the max contract has the right to request that he works harder on it. So It's a two-way street, man, and they both dropped the ball there. So again, no. Not our problem, baby.
Exactly.
Not our problem.
Let's go ahead and talk about our problems, man. Let's go ahead and give us the CP3 update, as only Flex can do it, of course.
Listen, man.
That you work and do all your things and give us what you can give us.
All right, listen, man. I've been saying this from the jump, right? When I put something out on Twitter, I'm just relaying what I'm hearing from the sources that I trust. And I couldn't say it on Twitter, but I texted you 2 hours before the report came out, and I told you he wasn't playing them off, right?
Right.
For everybody listening, there's some things you just can't say, and I'm going to break it down. Listen, Chris Paul is progressing in the protocol. He's everything that is supposed to happen is happening, but like Monty says, you can't speed up your teeth growing. Just your teeth are gonna grow at the pace they're gonna grow, and you know what? When you're going through COVID, you're gonna recover at the rate that the virus requires you to recover from. So he is progressing. He's not playing game 2, and he's still day to day. And when I get information that tells me anything else, I'll put it out there. But let me make something clear real quick. I want to clear the air here, man, because I get a lot of tweets back and forth, and I don't know if it frustrates people and stuff, but
right.
Here's what I want to clear up for the people that are listening that follow on Twitter. Like they'll ask me, they'll be like, Flex, did he do this? Is he positive? He's negative? And I'm saying, listen, first of all, even if I knew that information, I couldn't tell y'all that. I couldn't put that out. Like, how if I knew CP was out for the series, do you think it'd be smart for me to tweet out and say CP's out for the series? That just benefits the Clippers, right? And if I knew CP was playing game 3, I still wouldn't say he's playing game 3. You know why? Because that still benefits the Clippers. The longer we have to have the Clippers wondering what's going on, the better position we're in. So just take that with what I'm saying. Planet Orange, listen to what I'm saying. Read between the lines. Like, he's progressing. He's going through the protocol. He's asymptomatic. I can confirm that. He's asymptomatic. He's in Los Angeles. And things are going as smoothly as they can go per the discussions I'm having. We just got to take a couple more days at a time. But he won't play tomorrow, and I'm not worried.
Right. Exactly.
I'm not worried, brother.
Exactly. And also that private plane that left Los Angeles, that was not CP3, so we can confirm that.
Man, some people just
earlier, I said, man, immediately we tried our best to find out what the hell's going on. A private plane left Los Angeles. That has to be CP3, right? Getting back to Phoenix.
Man, bro, some people just so reaching, hilarious. Man. But
yeah, that was hilarious. But what I don't get, right, the protocol, his protocol. What exactly is his protocol? 10 days or 14?
No. So it's not either, Earl. So here's the thing, man. He was fully vaccinated in February. So he's got the full Pfizer vaccine and he's got antibodies. And as we talked about, there's viral loads. And for what I've been able to gather, his viral load is pretty low, which is why he's asymptomatic. You know what I mean? Which makes perfect sense. There is no 10, 14-day requirement. The requirement is pretty simple. You wake up and test negative. You have to give another negative test in 24 hours. And then there's a battery of cardiac testing that needs to get done. And I want to clear that up. I spoke to somebody at the league that told me exactly what that requires. And that requires an EKG, an echocardiogram, and a stress test. And the reasoning for that is because anytime you contract COVID, there's a chance of a murmur occurring. You can get small heart murmurs. The virus has been known to cause small heart murmurs that may not have been there before the virus. So you just want to be extra careful, man. Like you got people that are playing sports that are passing out. You saw that referee that did the NCAA tournament that had COVID but didn't know he had COVID, and he did have a heart issue, and he passed out right on the court, and it was a blood clot on top of a heart issue. So you can never be too safe. So, yeah, this is what the protocol is. Negative, and then cardio testing. And my belief is, I know there's a theory about 2 days. What I was told is once you get the second negative test, the NBA wants you to get that testing within 2 days of that negative test. Now, those tests don't take 2 days.
Correct.
Those tests take 2 to 3 hours in the doctor's office, 45 minutes for a echocardiogram, maybe another half hour to 45 minutes on a stress test, and the EKG takes seconds.
Right. So,
he can get all that done in 2 to 3 hours at a professional office, at a facility. So that's just where we are, man. But, at the end of the day, I feel a lot better after watching yesterday's game about the CP3 situation. Right. And we'll talk about the whole dynamic of that series and what we saw on tape and what we think we're going.
After what we saw yesterday, I think the Phoenix Suns as an organization are not going to push this thing, like you said, past making sure he is absolutely okay.
Of course.
And then when you look at the whole scenario, you go, damn, we might not need this dude at least for the, hey, I mean, you bought yourself some time getting game one. You're going into game two pretty much on a high. And what you did in that game one, I don't think they can stop.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
no, they can't.
So it's like, why not just throw it back out there again and try to roll the dice and get two without CP3? Then you're going home. You could probably end up sweeping this thing and you get two without him. So I mean,
right.
this is crazy. But yeah, so I don't think the Suns are panicking at all. I remember a situation where LeBron did something and he was supposed to get some type of suspension or something for doing something.
Yeah, for the vision. They just passed that along.
They just tossed it to the side and got him in there. Man, no, we gotta make sure he's here. It's not that type of situation for the Suns where we gotta have CP3 here, so let's make it.
Hey, you know what, E? I want to say one more thing about this because I know we gotta. Is this an hour today? This an hour today, right?
Yeah, we good. Yeah, we good.
All right, so we got some time. So let me just say one more thing about this whole situation. I think is flying over everybody's heads. Okay. CP3 has COVID, guys. Like, I know everybody wants CP3 back, but I'm telling you, I do not want a CP3 back that's got COVID because I don't want none of our other guys to catch COVID. Like, we could get away with it with one guy, but now you start spreading this thing, and that's a whole different dynamic. So, just everybody pump y'all brakes and let CP get healthy because that's something no one's talking about. Like, no, we ain't trying to rush that man back, man. Let that man get healthy. And we trust the team we got because God forbid you try to do something and force the issue, man. Could you imagine if we had some crazy outbreak? That'd be ridiculous, man. So let's relax. Listen, I said this on the post game last night with John Bloom. These games count as two. Every time the Suns win a game without Chris Paul, it counts as two. Right. And what I meant by that was you get a win in the win column, and then you get another day of breathing room at the end of the series. Like we've extended the series to at least 5. We win tomorrow, and now we got at least a game 6. And that's the way you got to look at it. If we can win tomorrow's game, I think we avoided all the stress and issues of the CP thing. And then we'll worry about game 3 and 4 and CP status when it comes. But the main thing on the agenda is get Chris healthy, keep him away from the Phoenix Suns because we can beat this team without Devin Booker. Without Chris Paul. We can't beat this. We can't beat this team without Devin Booker. We can beat this team with Chris Paul without Chris Paul.
Now let's talk about that because that's part of the news of what's going on around the league is right now because Kawhi Leonard is going to be out in game 2 as well. And I would imagine they're doing the same thing that any team would do is try to just throw not throw too much information out there to keep you guessing as to what's going on with him. But I mean, anything doing with his MCL or in his knee,
I can tell you.
He can't be coming back to this series at all, right?
I can tell you what I know, man. This is what I know from a league source that it never fails me, man. And listen, Kawhi Leonard has what is suspected to be a partial ACL tear. He's done. Okay. He has a partial ACL tear. Not a sprain. No. So here's the thing. So I'm going to tell you something. I don't want to be too brash here, but I believe like if there's anyone to talk to about an ACL injury, man, talk to me, bro. because I sat and saw my son recover for almost 2 years from a catastrophic ACL injury. I mean, completely ruptured ACL, sprained MCL, and a fractured tibia all in one. Okay. Wow. It took 2 years for him to get back to being the player he was, right? So here's what I will say. When you sprain an ACL, in essence, it is a tear. Any sprain to the knee ligament is a small fiber tear. Right. Okay, that's usually what happens. It stretches the fiber and you get a tear. In Kawhi's case, there's substantial swelling. And when they did the first MRI, it was inconclusive. But there's a test called the Lockman test where they can physically grab the knee and check for laxity of the ACL. And when they did that test, there was way too much laxity in the ACL, which is usually a telltale sign of a torn ACL. So, but not a complete torn, it's not a complete tear. So I'm told he has some tear of the ACL. And I promise y'all guys, if Kawhi Leonard plays another game this postseason, I will be absolutely shocked because with an ACL injury, you can go north-south pretty easy. But when you try to go lateral, man, that thing is so loose. Like, I remember my son walking around telling me, like, man, taking steps, I feel like my knee's going to pop out. So it's not something to play with. I think he's out for the series, but the Clippers aren't going to go ahead and do it. They're going to do the same thing we're doing. They're going to try to disguise this as much as they can.
I mean, if they put him out there on a tear of an MCL, I mean, that's just probably worse than the Golden State Warriors telling KD to go out there and then he popped the thing on Achilles. So
and Kawhi's not stupid. He's not crazy.
And he gets the Spurs like that. He's like, I ain't gonna go out there if I ain't helping.
And he's a free agent this summer. You think he's gonna put his career online on a free agency year? Like, it just doesn't make sense. If Kawhi was my relative, I'd tell him to pack it up and don't even think about it, man.
Yeah, so that's good. That's good. We're gonna give our sponsors their little time here because we have to do that. Pay the bills real quick, and we will be right back. We're gonna get into this series and what's
Devin Booker, baby.
What else to come in these playoffs? And man, the door is freaking the windows, the doors, everything is wide open to this day championship. So hang around. This is the Suns podcast, the Bleav the Phoenix Suns podcast, right here on KSRN. We'll be right back.
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
Hey, I get the silence I deserve, so I ain't talking acting when I say I just wanna be here. It seems like everywhere I go, everybody there trying to steal a show. So I'm here with my plan. I gotta let them hear who I am. I'm gonna show them now's our time. Today is my day to make you say that, cause I'm getting my way. It's my time to shine and it's okay.
Welcome back. It is our time. Yeah. This song I put down there for Book, man. This is it's our time. He wants to be heard, man. Now he made himself heard, man, all over the freaking world right now.
Devin Armani Booker, baby.
Absolutely. All right. Okay, so let's talk about his game, man. I mean, man, if he's gonna play like that with CP3, who? You know? And you just buy your team, you buy your whole organization all this time, and you scare the hell out of the league at the same time. It's like, man, if they can do all that without him, who gonna beat that team?
Right. I mean, and you know what? You said something earlier, and my thing is, you know, I obviously watched the game yesterday, and I watched it again last night, and I watched about half of it before the show today. So I usually watch 3 times, you know, just to get a really good feel for what the Clippers are doing. I was telling one of my good friends, man, that I talk ball with every day. And I'm talking about, like, this dude is a hoop dude. So he knows balls, man. I think he's a genius in his own right. He knows basketball that much. And, you know, I literally asked him a question. I said, listen, I'm watching this game. And you know what when I'm watching this game, Earl, you know what I'm doing? I'm acting as if I'm the Clippers. Yeah. I'm saying, okay, I'm watching the game. The last time I watched the game, I'm watching as if I were a Clipper fan. And I'm saying, how the hell do I stop Devin Booker, man? Like, how do I stop Devin Booker? And the coach in me, the hooper in me, the purist in me, man, I want to figure that out because it makes me feel better. It's like, what would I do if I was dealing with that animal, man? And I tell you what, man, good problem to have, man, because I don't know how you attack Devin Booker playing this well. Like, I know everybody's talking about, he's a mini Mamba and he's cool. And we've been saying this for a while, man. And one thing I will say is this, he's so dynamic. He's a 5-level guy. Like, people say 3-level. I say 5-level. Like, This guy can shoot the three. He can dominate the mid-range. He can post you up. He can get to the basket at will, and he can dominate from the free throw line. I mean, there's not too many people on planet Earth that can do that efficiently. Like, Earl, I've been watching Phoenix Suns basketball for 33 years. I have not missed a Suns playoff game since 1988, bro. I've watched them all, studied them all. That might have been the best Phoenix Suns playoff game I've ever seen with my own two eyes. When you see a guy get 40, 13, 11. But that's not only it, E. That's not only it. It's the efficiency, bro.
Right.
Like 52% from the field, 43% from three, 100% from the line. Running point book without CP, 2 turnovers. Like, man, that's just incredible, man.
I'm going to use that same word I used before when I talk about D-Book. The big C word. This dude is calculated.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at that 40, 13, 11. It's like he was just orchestrating out there. Like, okay, maybe this time I'll do. And it's based on what the defense is doing to him. That's when you know the game slows down for you. And that's when you know you got this thing and they can't stop you. Because you can do whatever you want based on what the defense is. He did not panic when the double team came.
Right.
It was just like, I'm just going to dissect y'all by what y'all trying to do to me. And he just calculated, just boom, boom, boom. Every move he made was a calculated move. It was just incredible to watch.
Surgical.
And at the what I love about it, that as he gets the way he is, and he's making teammates better, he's making DA even that much more better, that much better. This kid DA is just. I was watching that game. I'm going, that's not the same player, dude. And you
no. E, hold on. We gotta get into that, baby.
Wait. You know where I was a couple of months ago. You know where I was a couple of months ago when it came to DA. That's not the same dude out there, man.
All right, so I got to get in on this, but I want to make one more point about Book because I think this kid deserves the time we're gonna give him.
Right.
So check this out. My play of the game for Devin Booker. Of all the great plays he made, I mean, the dude scored 16 straight points. The play of the game that showed me the superstar that we have, the type guy is, was on the steal with him and Mikal on a 2-1 break. He gets the ball. He could have easily went up himself.
Oh, yeah.
Stats it. Right. Sat there, lobbed it, got Mikal to dunk, knew we needed Mikal, knew it's important to get his team involved, knew it's important for the crowd. Like, 24 years old, man. Wrap your head around that, man. Like,
unbelievable.
He just knows what to do. And so that was the moment. That's the moment where I'm sitting here, like, as a fan, I'm home and I'm watching that. And I take a deep breath and it's like emotions, man. And I'm not trying to sound corny, man, but this is how much I love the game of basketball. Like, I watched that play. And it almost got me emotional because I'm like, man, bro, like my 24-year-old superstar is really that guy, bro. Like he is really that guy. And he cares about everybody. He doesn't, one last thing, man, I can't say enough about Book right now. You saw what he said in the post game. He said, listen to what this kid says. He goes, 11 assists only happens if my teammates make their shots.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so he's like, I can't take credit for that. They hit the shots.
Right.
The 13 rebounds only happens if DA boxes out his guy and then I get an easy rebound. This is his words.
Right.
Like, he's not even saying, yo, bro, I got a triple-double. I got 13 boards, 11 dimes. I'm the truth. He's saying, bro, I got a triple-double because my team is a team, man. That you just can't teach that, man. This guy's now. Let's get to DA. Let's get to DA, baby.
Before you do that, back on my last thing about Book, man. I want to clear up something for national media.
Yeah.
In case y'all didn't know, stop thinking that the mid-range he just now learned from CP3.
Right.
Book has been doing that mid-range jumper since he's been in the league.
Right. High school.
Y'all stop that. Y'all please stop. Will y'all please catch up and watch some real Phoenix Suns games? Turn your TV on to what is it? Fox 34 channel on Cox.
Whatever.
And watch a freaking Phoenix Suns game every once in a while. He's been doing that shot since he's been in the league, or probably back in college or high school.
Telling you,
he must have just learned that from CP3. No, he did not.
No way, man. Book.
That was driving me nuts. I was like, come on, will y'all stop saying that?
And they could stop saying that CP's carrying his team too. They could stop saying that too, because Devin Booker just let everybody know, like, yo, CP's a great part of this team. And don't get me wrong, man. We love Chris. Chris and we want Chris to get right, and he's a big part. But everybody can stop with the Phoenix Suns turned around because of CP, man. Devin Booker got a lot to do with that, bro. And he proved
my man
it.
Robert Ryder just said that's who wrote that. Royce Young wrote that. I'm like, come on, man. You ain't been watching the games. You ain't been
Royce Young ain't watching games, man.
Stop it. Watching them. And then everybody, it's so funny how the media just some of the media, because I know I'm the media, but sometimes I don't put myself in the category with these dudes, man. Because some of these dudes say some of the dumbest stuff. I mean, they wait until the big name says something, then they all jump in line.
And you know what's funny?
Now that Stephen A. Smith is saying Book's the next Kobe Bryant, now the whole world wants to say, yeah, he must be right. So,
you know what's funny? Stephen A. Smith said Book is the next Kobe, right?
Right.
And he also said trade Book for Kyle Kuzma. So that's all I got to say about that, bro. That's what he said. Those his words. Yo, trade Devin Booker for Kyle Kuzma and some picks. That's what he said. Just like that, too, with that raspy little New York voice. Trade him for Devin Booker, Kyle Kuzma, and some picks. And I'm like, man, Stephen A., if you don't shut up, bro.
Let's go into Monty's roster, man.
Hold on. We just gonna skip DA.
No. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead. Do your DA.
Here's my thing about DA, man. So this is bothering me. E.
Okay.
So I'm hearing people say, "Oh man, Deandre finally playing hard. Deandre finally dunking the basketball. Boom, 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 boom." And here's what I'm saying. So in the regular season, you can get away with trying to play a basketball game and give DA 6 shots. Right. That can happen in the regular season. And that happened a lot in the regular season, okay?
Yep.
You can't do that in the playoffs. So you know what I'm telling people? It ain't DA changed his game, man. Yes, DA is getting better. He's a player that's getting better every day, just like Book and everybody else is.
Right.
But that ain't DA changing, man. DA ain't just learn. He ain't do some extra all of a sudden do some extra calf lifts and now he dunking. No, he could have done that 3 months ago. The difference is the team now is realizing that in order to win playoff basketball, you have to utilize the big fella the right way. That's what's happening. The team is realizing, holy crap, playoff intensity and regular season intensity, two different animals, right. and we cannot win championships and playoff series unless you involve the big fella. And when you involve the big fella, this is what the big fella does.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And the reason why I agree with that is because what I said before the playoffs started. Remember when I said it just seems and it looks like, and I know it seemed like it at the same time, but it's actually happening that Booker and CP3 were getting him ready for this playoff run.
Right.
And it didn't necessarily mean, start dunking the ball, and then, all of us like myself was not satisfied with that. We wanted to see him start dunking the ball, do all the stuff that we think, he was supposed to be doing, but they were getting him ready for this moment. And what I mean by that is they were trying to slow the game down for him so he can understand what's going on. And I think that's the difference right now. He knows what he's doing now. And you can see it out there. He's not hesitating anymore. He's doing things that are saying, okay, if you move, I'm gonna get you. If you come up, he come up, boom, pass back door, bam, Craig wide open for a 3. It's like he knows what's going on now. And I think that's what they were getting him ready for that.
Right.
To know the game when because they're gonna need him in these playoffs, knowing that he was the centerpiece that was going to be for this whole run. He's a centerpiece.
Yeah, and listen, you can't win championships. You can't win playoff basketball without a presence down in the paint. You just can't.
Absolutely.
And to me, like DA, man, the evolution of DA. Somebody in the chat just said like he definitely, and I agree with that. He's definitely changed mentally.
Oh yeah,
but here's my thing though, Earl is. And I'm big on psychology, man. Listen, any change mentally usually happens because of some other events that lead to confidence. That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? His mental change is because he's believing that his teammates believe in him. That's all that need to happen. It was like, and this isn't a selfish thing. It's just like when you're playing a regular season game, you just play Memphis on Monday, and then you got Cleveland on Tuesday, right? Mm-hmm. Regular season basketball, it's just a different dynamic, man. You got people on the road, you traveling, you got some people that wake up on the wrong side of the bed. So it's easy to fall into the mix and go a whole game and be like, damn, look at the box score. DA only took 6 shots today. But guess what the theory is? Okay, it's just a regular season game, but you can't do that in the playoffs. So what I'm saying is I think the Lakers series was important because they knew they needed DA. And so they went to him early and said, DA, listen, there's no way we can get through LeBron, Anthony Davis, Drummond, and Gasol without you, bro. Right. And we gonna trust you here. And it's like the first time you trust your son or your daughter to do something that you've never really let them do. But now it's like, okay, take the nice car out for a ride. I've been making you drive that little jalopy your whole life. But now I'm going to give you the keys to the Benz. Take the Benz for, and all of a sudden your kid gets that confidence. Okay, dad is trusting in me now. I got the Benzo now. So that's what I feel has happened more than anything. It's just confidence and mental. It's like, okay, Deandre now feels like he's a focal point and a big part of this team. But as far as the skill, like the skill's always been there. Everything he's doing, he's done before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you just nailed it, man. And I like when you said that's the biggest difference is confidence. You can see he's definitely confident. He's so confident because he believes what they're telling him is going to come to pass. If I do this, they're saying this is going to happen, and if I do it, hey, it must fit him. It's gonna happen, I guess. So he just started doing it. A lot of that too has probably got a lot to do with what happens in practice because he said I listened to his press conference. It was like a 12-minute conference for DA yesterday. Right. He said that in practice they be clowning anybody that's out of line and get intimidated or don't dunk or they clown everybody in the practice. I said he probably got tired of getting clowned.
Right. Man, that's a close crew, man. Yeah, that's a close crew. Hey, DA said something. Did you read that Players Tribune article he wrote?
Yeah, I did. That was excellent. That was good.
Did you hear that? He said, man, we're not swimming with the sharks. We are the sharks.
We are the sharks.
Like, I love it, man. I love it. DA, big fella, love you. He don't like people calling him big fella though. So
I know.
We just gonna call DA a heck of a basketball player, but he don't like being called a big fella.
Let's just call him a hell of a center. Hey,
right.
But let's talk about Monty's rotation for a second because
let's go. Yeah.
Monty has been excellent, man. This dude is just the X's and O's and when you bring somebody in he's just been pretty damn good at countering the opponent. Mm-hmm. And somebody mentioned in the comments here about DeMarcus Cousins coming into the game. That had to have been like a little loop that got thrown on the fly because I know he was like, "Oh, you gonna throw that at us now?" Okay, and DeMarcus started ball. He looked like the 2012 Cousins, man.
Yeah.
Like, that could be a wrinkle in this thing. What do you think about him coming in and what Monty did to counter that?
I love what Monty did. He didn't panic.
Exactly.
So what they wanted Monty to do was to panic when DeMarcus bullied Saric a little bit and go right back to DA and get him in foul trouble. That's what he wanted.
Right.
But Monty held his cool and said, nah, listen, big fella, you ain't played DeMarcus Cousins, you ain't played meaningful basketball in 4.5 years, brother. I don't care if you score 11 points in 5 minutes. It's a 48-minute game. You could see it. He had a nice little stretch, scored 11 points, and then absolutely disappeared. Right. So Monty played it perfectly, man. He didn't panic and he said, Dario, just hang in there. And guess what? Anytime the Clippers are running their offense through DeMarcus Cousins, the Suns are winning.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want the ball out of, I'm a big believer in you cannot beat this Phoenix Suns basketball team not shooting the three ball. Like, you have to shoot incredible from the 3 line to beat this Suns team.
He has just been one hell of a coach. I mean, I don't think he misses anything. When you look at campaign, he was going to start in this game. Monty went to him and told him, "You're not going to be the same campaign that comes off the bench tonight. You're not going to be that guy. You can't be that guy. If you're going to be that guy, we're going to be in trouble. Yeah, you got to be the facilitator now. You have to." And it took Payne it took him a while to figure it out a little bit, but he was the distributor in that game. Because usually when Payne comes in, it's zoom to the back, and he's shooting all over the place because he's keeping up the second unit scoring. But now it was a different campaign. They slowed him down. Look, you got to see everybody. Use DA, set Book up, set everybody. I mean, it was like he did a damn good job.
He did a fantastic job. You know what he said? He said something in the media that was exactly what you're saying, E. Like, it's poetic. He said, "You know what? I started the game, and then when Monty pulled me out, that's where he locked in." because he said he was able to sit when he pulled him, he was able to look at the game like he normally does. Because remember, he's always watching the first 6 minutes.
Exactly.
So once they took him out, he had that 6 minute stretch where he can kind of diagnose the game, and it kind of all sunk in. And it was like, okay, bro, like just go in there. Like he had 2 very good plays where he gets the ball on the wing, short shot clock, and normally campaign off the bench is shooting that.
Right.
But this campaign took 1 extra dribble, passed it over to Mikal, passed it over to Cam, hit 2 threes. And so, yeah, man, he reinvented himself. What do you have, 8, 9 dimes? Like, that's what we need, bro.
Shout out to Jay Crowder's brother sitting in there on the sideline. Because they said CP3 was probably on the Zoom, like, tell Payne this, tell him that. They said, and Crowder was like, that sounds just like CP. So,
yeah, man. CP was there.
Awesome,
CP was sending texts. That's crazy,
man. This team is so connected together. It's that's hard to beat, man. When we got a team that's disconnected, I don't see them. I've been saying this. I know I've been saying this. I just can't see a team beat this team 4 out of 7 times. I just can't see it happening.
I don't either.
I can't see it happening, especially now that they have the home court throughout. No matter what happens for this, throughout. So it's like, damn, I'm gonna beat this team 4 times.
Remember that comment I made? I don't know if this was the Denver series, I think. And I told you, I said the difference with this team is the Suns can play bad and they can still win. And if they can play good and win, if they play good, they're gonna win.
Right.
If they play bad, they still can win. Like, that's hard to say for other teams. Like the Clippers, my man Brian, I can't pronounce his last name. He one of the last in the chat. He said Clippers made Abdullah. I'm sorry, Abdullah, right? He said Clippers made 21
threes.
And we still won. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like I don't feel like the Clippers are going to be able to continue to do that. Like the Suns won 2 games in that Lakers series and didn't hit 10 threes in those games.
Right.
Like, and was still won. Like the Clippers got to come out and hit 20 plus threes a night to even compete with the Suns. And I just don't see it, man. CP or not, like CP coming back or not coming back. I mean, and we know he will be back, but I'm just saying, I just feel like we're the superior team, man. We are an actual basketball team. We play defense. We hang our hat on defense. And as long as Devin Almighty Booker is doing what he's doing book things, man, hey, I ain't got no worries. I'm sleeping good tonight.
Yeah, our man here, Iverson, is afraid of the Clippers' 3-point shooting, which you just got through talking about. But one thing about something I have been saying since day one is I don't care how good you shoot that 3. You're not winning the championship shooting 3s. I'm sorry. And you're not going to beat a well-oiled defensive machine on the 3-point line.
Nope.
Because 3-pointers are so fickle. You can shoot 21 one night and 13 or 10 or 8 out of 30 the next night. So you're not going to do that 4 times in one series. You're not going to shoot 20-something threes 4 times in one series, especially with this Phoenix Suns defense, who didn't do that great of a job last night at running them off the 3, but they're going to get better at running them off that 3. And when they start running them off that 3, this series is going to be over with.
And it's another.
That's all they have, man.
No, you make a great point, but here's another great point there, E. Like you just said it, right? We got to do a better job of defending 3 line. Right. They hit 21, right? You know how many Paul George made? 7.
Yeah.
And each and every one of them was like contested. Like they were tough shots.
Tough shots, yeah.
Right, he's making tough shots. So can you expect a guy to have to hit? And they lost, man. Like they lost. You know what I'm saying? I look at the Utah game. I went back and looked at game 5, Utah and the Clippers in Utah.
Right.
So I watched that game back again just to scout some of the things the Clippers were doing defensively, right? And you know what's crazy? In that game, Bogey hit 7 threes in the first quarter, bro. Jordan Clarkson hit 5 in the second. They had 17 threes at the half and lost.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying.
It's not about
on fire, right? You win and lose, right? You live by it, you die by it. They live by it in the first half and they die by it in the second half. And that's what you're gonna do if you play the Suns and depend on the 3 ball.
Right. And then let's talk about the Clipper role players. Reggie Jackson, Morris,
Yeah.
Kennard, all these guys that shoot the three in high volume, they really only shoot the three in that high volume when the Clippers are like following Paul George's lead.
Yeah.
If George has got it going, then they all tend to kind of get that energy, and they all kind of start to knock these threes down. Even Beverly knocked down a couple of threes in the Jazz series that you don't ever see that.
Yeah.
But if George is getting double teamed, which he probably will be, and they're going to probably try to limit his 3-point shot and run him off that three, those guys cannot keep up with shooting those threes like that. There's no way.
No.
And our role players play within a system. They don't just go out there and just jack up threes. We play it within a system, and those role players against our role players there's not even a match. They don't even match up.
Right. And you know the beauty is that Paul George right now, he's in his hotel room.
Yep.
And I'm thinking as a hooper. If I'm Paul George, I'm in my hotel room and I'm like, man, I damn near dropped 40 points. I hit 7 threes. I played incredible. And they threw Mikal at me. They threw Jay at me. They threw Cam Johnson at me. They threw Torrey Craig at me. They threw Devin Booker at me. I had to beat 5 different dudes. And literally, they didn't really double ever. Like, they were like one-on-one, dog, mano-a-mano. Like, you're going to get these. And not having a double is why we're elite defensively. We don't have to double anybody.
Correct.
You know, now Terrence Mann ain't getting them wide open ass threes he was getting against the Jazz, right?
That's what
Reggie
Reggie Jackson with 15, 20 something every night. And
right. I mean,
getting all these high 39 for man. The dudes didn't do nowhere near them numbers. Batum was like at 17, 16 points. He only had 5 the other night.
Right,
It's like this defense is not going to let you just sit there and shoot the ball.
And they kept comparing. They kept saying, I heard somebody say something really stupid on the national media. He said, I think it might have been Tim Legler, ESPN. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't want to mess on Timmy. It might have been Tim, but he said, man, Deandre Ayton is going to be in for a nightmare based on the way that they put Rudy Gobert on skates. That's what he said. He said, I watched the tape and the Clippers had Rudy Gobert on skates. That dude was still having nightmare. He's like, Deandre Ayton is in for a nightmare. And I laughed at that. I'm like, hold on, brother. Hold on. First of all, this is why I hate that people don't give DA enough love. Like, DA is the best defensive center on planet Earth when it comes to going out on the perimeter and playing defense. Now, Rudy is a paint presence, but Rudy ain't going out on the perimeter and is going to be as gifted with the footwork and the agility to play on the perimeter like DA. So I never thought that was going to be an issue. And then the second thing is, man, you're not going to put DA on skates. You know why? Because we're so disciplined with our rotations on defense. Right. And we communicate so well that we're never going to put guys on that. Man, I saw Terrence Mann in the corner against Utah in Game 6. And I swear to God, Earl, I could have flew to Phoenix, checked into the hotel, said what's up to my boys, had lunch with you, flew back to New Jersey, and he still wouldn't have taken that damn shot. That's how much time that fool had in the corner.
Yeah, he bobbled the ball twice. He's like, boop.
Twice. He bobbled it, looked at the rim, said, damn, should I shoot this? And then he bobbled it again and said, damn, I forgot to call my mom before the game. And then look, you know, it's like, come on, bro. You give any NBA player that much time, and they're going to make shots. Phoenix Suns ain't giving you that much time.
No way. So looking at this game going in Game 2, what adjustments do you think right now could be made if you're the Clippers? If you're Ty Lue right now, and you can see in the media, and you can see when Paul was talking to the media, George was talking to the media, you can tell the confidence wasn't really was not behind what he was saying, because he was saying, yeah, this team we're playing is a different dynamic, a different team that, you know, and we're going to make the adjustments. We're going to make the adjustments like we always do. He said that. But you didn't feel confident when he said that, because he's like, what adjustments can they make? What I mean, outside of what they've done in-game adjustments, what are they going to do having to sit and watch tape? And what can they do to slow down this Suns team? So
I said earlier, right, I watched the tape again. And you'll normally my third rotation watching the tape is literally that. I'm looking at the tape as if I'm not a Suns fan and not somebody that covers the Suns. And I'm like, okay, what do I do to stop them from doing the things? And I'm going to tell you, Earl, I normally don't have this problem, but I'm sitting here and I'm saying, I I mean, you just have to try to control Book better, but they just don't have the personnel to do it. Like listen, Terrence Mann, Beverly, Reggie Jackson, and the other kid, man, I'm losing it, Kennard. Like, they just don't have the skill to match up with Book on switches, and they're not threatening enough when they trap. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, the only adjustment is hope Devin misses, man. I mean, I'm being real. Like, hope Devin.
You're right. Because I'm telling you, Flex, as good as I'm standing here, and I saw that game, and I know that I saw Ty Lue make at least 4 or 5 adjustments in that game. He made every adjustment.
He was trying.
He made every adjustment. I mean, we got somebody here talking about that he's going to play PG on Book. That happened.
I wish.
And that happened.
But here's the thing. They tried that for a little bit, but I tell you what, if you do that, you're
gonna wear him down. He's gonna
you're gonna lose by 20 because he just can't deal with Book one-on-one. And if they're gonna put PG and then blitz someone else, Book has become a master at diagnosing the blitz before it's actually happening now. And he's cutting that blitz, he's blitzing through the blitz before it even happens. Right. He's getting in the mid-range where he's comfortable. And if you over rotate and you over blitz, he's just making the right play and we're hitting shots. So, I mean, I guess if I'm the Clippers, here's what I'm doing. If I'm going to be politically correct here, I'm going to say we're going to try to blitz Book a little higher, a little sooner, and hope that Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and Campaign don't make shots. That's the only thing you can hope for. And I don't got any reason to believe that those guys aren't capable of hitting the shots. And then let's not forget, when things get tricky, man, we got a mismatch that they can't counter. Deandre Ayton is unguardable in this series.
Yes, that's right.
It's just too much to deal with, man. So
we're gonna definitely probably see a 30-something plus game for DA in this series at least once. It's got to be because they're going to try to shut Book down and double and do all the things they're trying to do to get the ball out of his hands. They got to feed DA, let him eat. Just let him eat. Because there's nobody on that team that can stop him. Nobody that can stop him.
And Marcus Morris has a real potential to miss tomorrow's game. I'm telling you that.
Man, it just keeps getting worse. These playoffs.
Marcus Morris, and I know that for a fact. Marcus Morris right now has a knee issue, and it's not looking good. And there's a very good chance he could not play tomorrow. And I tell you what, if that happens, man. I mean, what are they gonna do, bro? What are they gonna do?
Yeah, this thing, they might even get swept, dude.
Hey, I'm not gonna go there yet, but I'm just looking, man. You know basketball as well as I know. Yeah. You just look at the matchups and you look at the team depth. They don't have enough to make a counter adjustment to make it that significant to where they can just overwhelm us. Whatever they do, we're gonna have a counter for it. Right.
I don't see anything that's out of the box that's going to say, okay, today they got us with so-and-so, unless DeMarcus Cousins just plays out of his mind and scores 35 or something. I don't see that happening, though.
I mean, I'm going to tell you, E, I'm going into tomorrow's game. I'm making it real simple. You don't double. You play PG straight up. And if PG wants to score 40, God bless him. Score 40.
Let him score whatever. Exactly.
You just clamp up on everybody else. I think that the barometer we've set is pretty simple. If you don't score 110 points, you're not beating the Phoenix Suns. So you can go ahead and get 40 and figure out where the other 70 are coming from. We're staying home. We're not going to double. We're not going to overcommit. And if you're going to hit tough shots, so be it. And if you hit those tough shots, that still doesn't mean you win because you still got to play defense and stop us on the other end. So I feel good about tomorrow, Planet Orange. I think I'm gonna give y'all my prediction. Suns win tomorrow. 118-106. 118-106 Phoenix Suns. Write that down, E. I see you with the pen. Write that down. I
already wrote it down.
118-106 Phoenix is 2-0, baby.
I also wrote down something I heard on Inside the TNT's Inside the NBA where Barkley said that on the same day he had his triple-double in the playoffs. The score was the exact same score, and he had a 40-plus and triple-double like Book did.
Is that crazy? Same exact score, bro.
Like crazy. That's crazy. But let me ask you this, and I know we got to get out of here in a few minutes. But some research. If we can do some research, maybe some of the listeners in the comments could do some research on this. Has there ever been another player since Magic Johnson, a superstar, to come into his first playoff series and win a championship?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I look back, I'm going, okay, Magic was the only one I've seen.
Magic did that as a rookie, bro, and played center.
He played center, but still, he won his
he won. Yeah, he was the man. He won the MVP. Yeah,
right.
I mean,
and I'm not talking about their first championship that they won.
Oh, I got one for you.
His first championship series.
I think I got one for you.
Who's that?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay, you got to go further back. Yeah, so I'm saying you got to go way.
Yeah. I think 1971. I think 1971.
It could be nothing recent. I mean, because I was looking, man, even Kobe and Michael didn't even do that on their first,
No.
Like, damn, okay.
No, I mean D Wade did his second playoff.
Right.
Right. So that's probably the closest, man.
And LeBron did it on his second playoff. Because he lost to Spurs the first time he got in, right?
No, LeBron got bounced. He got
bounced first, and then they went to the finals.
And then they went to the finals. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, Book. That's a good point, man. Book might.
If he wins this championship and he's a superstar, he's gonna win the thing on his first shot. Who else does that besides Magic back in what?
I'm gonna tell you who else does that. You know who else does that? If Book does it this year, you know who else does that?
DA,
baby.
Yeah.
And you know who else does that? Mikal Bridges, baby.
Exactly.
And Cam Johnson. So that just shows you how young this team is, right? Like it's scary, man. But man, I'm excited, man. Planet Orange, man. Listen, everybody take a chill pill, relax.
Here's the last.
Go ahead, brother.
Last question of the game. Of the night, and I'm gonna let my man Mook Allen have it right here. This is a good.
Let's go, my man Mook. What is it? What would happen? What
would happen to the NBA if we actually won this thing? Just imagine it, man. Mook, that's a good one. Because all in my car today, I'm driving, going, we actually finna win this damn thing. I'm like, man, I'm looking around going, the only thing that could stop us would be, knock on wood, a freak injury to somebody. I don't want to say that's going to happen.
Whoa. Yeah, no.
I'm just saying that's the I got you.
Hey, I'm going to tell you, here's how it's going to go down, E. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Phoenix Suns going to win the NBA championship. Devin Booker's going to have the NBA title. He's going to have the series MVP.
Okay.
And then he gonna fly to Tokyo and bring back a gold medal.
Damn.
And it's gonna be a summer. It's gonna be a Phoenix Suns summer, the epitome of a Phoenix Suns summer. And all them fools in the national media are gonna sit back. You know what they're gonna do? Here's what's gonna happen, Mook. I'm gonna tell my man Mook. Mook had a good question. Here's what's gonna happen, Mook. You're going to wake up after we win the championship and you're going to see all these guys on ESPN saying, I told you the Suns were good. I told you I told you they good, man. I told you Devin Booker. I told you Booker's cold. I told you Deandre Ayton's the next Hakeem Olajuwon, man. Like, that's what they're going to say. I told you DA wasn't a bust as the number one pick. So that's what they do. They backtrack. They just reiterate nonsense. And then they make it look like they never said, like, oh, hold on. I got to say, hold on. I got one more. Hold on. We got to do this. I know we press for time, but check this out. So my man Ryan Russillo.
Okay.
My man Ryan Russillo was on 98.7 today. Right. He was invited on the station. I think he talked with Doug and Wolf, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan Russillo was the guy that came out like 6 months ago, or right before in the summer. He's the guy that came out with that article and said, yo, Devin Booker wants out of Phoenix. That's the biggest. That's the worst hidden secret in Phoenix. Yeah, that's him, Ryan Russillo. So he gets on the station today. You know what this guy said, man? Ryan Russillo said, I didn't say Book wanted. I said that I thought he would want out because all young players think they want out. I'm like, bro, come on, man. You gotta do better than that, Earl. He literally backtracked and said, and in the article, he wrote it as definitive, like source tells me Book wants out of Phoenix. And now he talk about nah. That's just what I thought Book wanted. Like, come on, stop, bro. Book never once said anything about leaving Phoenix. And
man,
that's
what's wrong with everybody? What's wrong with these dudes in me that don't want to be wrong, man? What's so wrong about
just say you wrong, man? Just say you wrong.
Your boy Dan Durante corrected me on Twitter a couple of days ago, about a week ago. And about that, what was it about? The flagrant foul that Jokic got, and I was like, wasn't they going to throw him out anyway if he got a technical for fighting with Book, and he got a technical for hitting Payne? Isn't that 2 technicals? He's automatically gone. And he was like, no, he was like, dude, it don't work like that. I was like, oh, I said, my bad. Okay, help me out here, bro. And he just explained it to us like, oh, okay, my bad. What's wrong with being wrong, man? Just get corrected and you good.
Being wrong. Just get corrected. It's humble. Listen, if you're in the media long enough, you're gonna be wrong.
You're gonna be wrong, man.
But like you said, it's about just being humble and taking your L, man. Just take your L. But hey, man, I'm excited, E. I'm excited, baby.
Yeah,
Planet Orange is on fire. Devin Booker, triple double number 2 tonight. I'm calling it tomorrow night. Triple double number 2, baby.
All right, then. That is another show, fellas. We appreciate everybody chiming in. All you guys make the show, man. I appreciate it. And from my man Flex, Earl Burnett, right here on the Bleav, the Phoenix Suns podcast. Game 2 tomorrow night, 6 o'clock sharp.
Let's go.
Let's go up 2-0 and CP3 that gift that he had to come back and just close this thing out. All he got to do is come back and close this thing out.
In the words of my man Terrence Ross, if Kevin Durant is basketball God, Devin Booker is basketball Jesus. Peace out, Planet Orange.
All right. Peace out, y'all.
The emphatic follow down and goes for Ayton. Big guy. Bridges. Picks the pocket. With a thunderous left hand. Booker racing to the rack. Scoops and scores. Wow, face to face with him. From far away. Booker drills it. Think about it. Oh, no, he did. Finish. Chris Paul, that's not right. CP3, stop it.
CP3, stop it. I love it, bro.
I love that. Chris Paul, you're not right. CP3, stop it.